Welcome back to Tech Threads, the 5-minute briefing where we unpack the week's top tech stories without breaking a sweat. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jordan. Quick stretch, tiny coffee, and we're live. Digital editors charging in 3, 2, 1.
First up today, a BBC piece that put an AI-created influencer and a human influencer side by side. Both successful, both commanding attention. Short version, followers don't always care if there's a heartbeat behind the handle.
That's right. The story highlights a split public. Some people say AI influencers are ruining social media, eroding authenticity. Others say they democratize fame, giving creators, brands, and even underrepresented groups new ways to get noticed.
Thoughtful question time. What exactly do people mean when they say AI is ruining social media? Is this a moral panic, or is there something real happening under the surface?
Good question. It's partly about trust and authenticity. Social platforms have long been built on the idea you can relate to a real person's life. When posts are generated by an algorithm, critics argue that emotional connection is manufactured. There's also brand and creator economics. AI influencers can be cheaper to run, scale easily, and flood feeds with polished content. That can undercut human creators who rely on authenticity and gradual audience building. So the argument isn't just existential, it's financial too. On the flip side, supporters say AI opens opportunities. How does that work in practice?
Two ways. First, AI personas can be custom built to represent identities or aesthetics that might be hard for actual people to break into because of gatekeeping, resources, or bias. Second, creators can use AI to amplify their reach. Synthetic co-hosts, virtual models, or even automated content production that frees human creators to focus on ideas, not endless editing. For smaller teams, that's huge.
That makes sense. Any legal or platform level implications we should be watching?
Absolutely. Transparency rules are coming into play. Some regions are discussing or implementing requirements to label AI-generated content. Platforms are also tweaking algorithms to detect inauthentic behavior. And then there's advertising. Regulators might demand clear disclosures when a sponsored post is from a virtual persona. Intellectual property is another knot. Who owns the image and voice of an AI influencer built from multiple datasets?
Sounds messy. For brands deciding whether to hire a virtual influencer, what would be your quick checklist?
One-sentence checklist. Define your authenticity threshold, confirm clear disclosure, evaluate long-term brand fit, estimate lifecycle costs versus benefits, and check legal exposure on IP and deepfake rules. In doubt, run a small pilot and measure engagement quality, not just raw follower counts.
Okay, last one. Culturally, are we heading toward a future where human influencers are niche and virtual influencers dominate, or is that hyperbole for now?
Hyperbole for now. Humans bring nuance, spontaneity, and messy relatability that AI still struggles to authentically replicate at scale. But the mix will shift. Expect more hybrid approaches, humans plus AI assistants, and niche spaces where virtual influencers thrive, like gaming, fashion concepts, or even automated content production that frees human creators to focus on ideas, not endless editing. For smaller teams, that's huge.
Quick banter moment. So if my next crush is a meticulously curated virtual persona, should I feel weird or efficient?
Both. And file your receipts. Virtual relationships may not split the dinner bill, but they'll never forget your birthday. All right, that wraps our main segment. Short transition. Next, we'll look at what platforms are doing about transparency and some of the policy moves on the horizon. But for today, a quick sign-off.
Final takeaway. AI influencers are changing the rules, but not replacing the game. Audiences still value human connection. Brands and platforms must balance innovation with trust and disclosure. And if you're an influencer, consider using AI to handle the boring stuff, not to fake your whole personality.
That's it for Tech Threads. I'm Alex.
I'm Jordan.
See you next week. Bring your questions, your skepticism, and maybe a virtual cookie. The preceding audio summary was created at jesterengine.com, where you can find and verify the original sources.